What's going on YouTube? Doug Smith. Welcome to another episode of the We One. Today we're going to discuss one of the best watering techniques. I'd say the best system for watering your plants. Because if you don't know this, plants are very finicky about their water, and it all comes down to a simple thing called pH. I'm going to break all that down for you, so stay tuned because that's coming up. Alright, so as you can see, I do have quite a few plants around my porch, and you know, I would say probably these right here, these are called dumb cane. These are probably, I'd say, the better of all the plants up here right now, just because everything else is kind of a lot more subject to the heat. But one of the nice things is I kind of figured out this little thing, because you know, insider thing. A lot of this stuff is all new to me as well. I've known a little bit, but not enough to really make a huge difference. So now that I know the stuff that I do know, I want to share it with you and why it might just be the game changer that you've been looking for. So, you know, you can see I'm starting to get all my flowers and blooms back. I'm getting more shoots, greener, thicker shoots. You can see this plant is just consistently, like, non-stop. It's just giving me new leaves. Now these do bloom. They bloom similar to the way a peace lily does, if you're familiar with those. You see them a lot at funerals and processions. But nonetheless, we're going to discuss why, you know, your plants just might not be doing what they should be. So, for instance, it's probably not the best view here, but I have some tomato plants down here and watermelon, as well as a ton of weeds that I got to get rid of. But they weren't really doing what they should have been. We, you know, drive around the neighborhood and we start to see other people's plants starting to come up, and they're like already looking like they got tomatoes. And I know that we started ours earlier, so between me and my buddy, we're trying to figure this out. And I said, you know what, we're gonna break this down science style. Science. And the number one thing is the water. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna check something about this water, and this might actually be the reason why your plant's not doing what it should be doing. So let me go ahead and get my testing equipment, and I'll explain all that. It's way more simple than what you think, so, you know, stay tuned, don't click away, because, you know, I'm not going to be breaking out like computers and laptops like I'm going to be doing computer science on a car engine or anything. This is really, really simple stuff, and I'm going to show you right now. First thing we're going to do is we're going to use this pH testing pen, and you can see it's labeled pH. Go ahead and just take the cap off. And I'm going to place it in the water. Let's see here. Crank her on. I feel like you guys really can't see this, so there we go. So you can see it's at a high number, and I'll explain that here in just a second. So it looks like 0.0, but it's actually 8.0. I think it was fluctuating between 8.0 and 8.1. So what does that mean? What does the 8.0 mean for as far as pH? That just means it's a little on the alkaline side. Now I'm going to go ahead and post a little thing. You should see it right now. What pH is just the whether it's acidic or alkaline, you know, and plants actually they prefer more on the acidic side. On the chart you can see that right about 6.0, maybe a hair below it, maybe like 5.9, 5.8. That's where all your nutrients are going to be available. Anything above that, if you look at 8.0 and you move down the line, you're going to see that you start seeing drop-offs in things like your iron, your manganese. It looks like your boron's not quite as available. Your copper, zinc's a little shy, and the nitrogen is actually a little low. But not only that, plants really don't take in nutrients, nor do they really drink the water unless it's in a certain pH. Now, I'm sure a lot of you brand new to this concept probably don't have one of these or don't know where to get one. You know, and there's a couple different ways to measure. So another way of doing it is you can get one of these pH testing kits where you have pH up, pH down, and they give you this solution and a little glass thing to put a sample of water. So we take our little dropper here, place this a little sample, and that should be about enough. That's all we really need. Ooh, a bit of a wobble. And we'll put a couple drops. And now we just put a cap and shake it up. And the way this works is you can kind of nowhere near the well, kind of greenish, probably closer to 7.9. It is kind of more on the yellow side. So let me go ahead and double check here. So as you can see, if it will focus for me, you know, the color of our solution, it's not ideal. We're looking for more of like a yellow, right around 6. And the way we do that is we just add some of the pH down that you see right there. So we'll go ahead and do that. I'm doing this kind of single-handedly. Same thing, just fill my dropper up, bring it over to the water, and we'll see where that gets us. Now, as you can imagine, doing this with a little water testing tube every time can get a little distracting, a little timely. It could even get a little confusing just because it's, you know, you got to rinse it out every time, and you got to reinsert a fresh sample, then add your solution to double check. It seems to be a lot more easier to just add my pH down, give it a little bit of a mix. Maybe I'll do that about twice. And so I do want to let you guys know I do this every morning. I kind of waited a little bit today. It's Saturday. I slept in a little bit, but it's a lot easier for me, you know, when I do this. There we go. This is a lot easier for me to do with both hands, but point being, it's definitely doable. So looks like we had the right amount. You can see we're at 5.9. 5.9 to 6.0 is about perfect. Plants prefer anywhere from 5.5 to 6.5. But the number one reason why I wanted to do this is because your plants don't like change. So coming from a tap water source, if you're watering your indoor or outdoor plants with tap water, day to day this number will change. Yesterday I believe it was 7.6, today it was 8.1, 8.0. I've had days where I've seen it as high as 8.5, and I've actually seen it where it was as low as 5.5, which meant I had to add pH up. So keeping a daily measure on this is going to be the biggest difference, because like I said, your plants will not want to drink anything. So with all that in mind, I hope this video has given you guys some type of insight, perhaps maybe the one little keynote that makes a big change in whether or not your plants decide to keep living and continue to grow and flourish, or the difference of maybe just wilting out at a little sprout. Like I said, if the pH is not correct, you know, it doesn't really matter what you're putting in. It doesn't matter if you have like a Miracle Grow or Mycos for the roots, or, you know, there's tons of different products out there that you can actually use to really like boost the crap out of your plants. I believe a prior video I made, I actually make this reference that you know, the type of things you can give plants are like steroids. You know, to us, messes us up, but plants kind of have this way of handling it differently, I guess, mainly because it's what they're trying to get. Doing stuff with the pH for your plants is kind of like going on a crazy diet where you know, you're on nutrients and you're on supplements and you take protein and you're all these extra little things, you can do something really phenomenal with your body and your life by doing that. I've tried it. It's hard. I went back. I definitely love my food too much. So, but for the plants, it's giving them what they really want, because if a plant does not have the proper pH, it really doesn't matter what kind of nutrients you put in. It really doesn't matter what you add, because the plant itself will actually not take the water in, and it will also go into what is called nutrient lockout. And that just means the plant's on like it's on like life support. It's on like that point, that crucial point of where it's going to thrive and do what you want it to, or it's going to die. So all the effort that goes into planting, everything you try to do to make sure that, you know, you're trying to start your vegetable garden indoors, so that way you don't put it before the first frost. You know, like you try to schedule this stuff out, right? You try to make sure that you've covered every little point. But when it comes to the watering process, it can vary so much. Now, I generally, because I have the general hydroponics pH test kit that comes with the pH up, pH down, you can find a link in the description actually to go to Amazon. That's where I purchased it. I've seen it in like pool supply stores, and I've seen it in like plant stores and stuff for just way too much. So I opted to go to Amazon. I've always been going to Amazon just because the pricing always seems to work out best. But there's a link for that in the description, as well as for the pH pen. Now with the pH pen, I'll go ahead and tell you that it's something that you do want to calibrate from time to time, just because it can vary over time. You know, after you use it so much, it might register a pH that's just a touch too high or just a touch too low. So maybe you're trying to get the 6.0 and it tells you that now it's 6.0, but it actually is closer to 7.5, which can happen. The back of that pen actually has a little hole, and they provide you with like a clear acrylic case with a user manual, a screwdriver, that you can actually adjust. You just twist it one way or the other, and the numbers go up or down, so that way you can bring it to where it should be. So they provide you with a testing solution. I believe it's a borax solution. I haven't done it in a while. I usually just I get you know the dropper, the solution, and I get it to right at 7.0, where it's as yellow as can be, and I test it with the pen and I calibrate it to 7.0. That seems to do just about fine for my purpose. But I'm just trying to keep the plants on my porch looking nice and not doing anything crazy. If you know you are trying to do your own horticulture in your backyard or in your house or whatever, with, you know, fruits and vegetables and herbs and whatever, you know, you might want to invest in I guess a testing solution, so that way you can make sure those pH pens, whichever you end up going for, if you go for it, that you can get it right to where you need it. But other than that, I really hope this video has helped you out, because I noticed a huge change in the plants ever since. I mean, I've had this product for a while. I used to try to do like tomatoes and lettuce and stuff hydroponically, and I used it because it's for general hydroponics, but you know, I forgot about it, and now that all of our plants were kind of going dormant, I just decided that, you know, maybe it's about time to break that back out. And I'm glad I did, because it's been, like I said, a game changer. Everything's starting to thrive again. The foliage is coming back. Everything's shooting, you know, more sprouts, or sprouting more shoots, something like that. You know what I mean. More leaves, more flowers. And you know, if you decide to go this route to see if you can save your plants, don't forget that after whatever you add, because you can always add your nutrients, you can add your Epsom salts, which I have videos about that should be popping up here in about 10 seconds. You know, add those to your water first, according to the instructions, then test the pH and adjust it after, so that way your plants can take those in. Other than that, I hope this video has helped you out. If it did, give me a big thumbs up, as that helps me out, and we can reciprocate on that. And don't forget to subscribe, as I have many more tips coming up like this. And if you do subscribe, hit the little bell icon, so that way you get notified when I come out with new tips and tricks to help you and your plants and your gardens, whether it's outdoors or indoors. So with that, I hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll catch you on the next video.